Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this new YouTube series. It's going to be watching. We are going to be watching 3DB's games. He's climbing the rank ladder since his most recent ban from the Red Bull Wallerlo Legacy tournament in Castle Heidelberg, Germany. That massive LAN tournament. 3DB did qualify for it, but he's been banned since, and now he's going to be casting. Well, I'm going to be casting his games, but he's going to be playing on the rank ladder, trying to climb that ladder. And we've got a fantastic game for you today because it's going to be 3DB versus Aoe4, which is actually kasva. So it's going to be kasva he's going to be up against. And we will see how this one pans out. It's going to be an interesting one. Playing as the Roos is 3DB in the northeast corner of the map in orange. And in the southwest, we're going to have kasva playing in yellow as the French. The Roos versus the French. Both civilizations very good at the early aggression in Feud Legend. We can often see a little bit of a mini game as we can see a lot of walls there being pulled in by kasva. That's a lot of bounty that is being denied. That little mini game the Roos get, trying to get that bounty increased as soon as they can, up to 250 ideally. Do you see 3DB going for the early wheelbarrow from the hunting cabin? Just see how many scouts he's gone for this time. He's actually gone for 3. Actually, no, he's gone for... Yeah. He's gone for 3. Chasing after a couple of wolves here. Trying to get as much bounty as he can. Now, we've seen 3DB often only go for 2 scouts. Opting for 3 today, playing as the Roos versus the French. French now getting 3 villages on gold. We're looking to get that school of cavalry soon. A little bit off there on the food count, but kasva will be getting to the next stage relatively quickly, and we should expect to see that for the French. Usually one of the fastest civilizations to get to that next stage. A couple of villages idle there for B. That's not ideal. Doesn't have enough food underneath the town centre. Despite having 3 scouts, hasn't been able to bring that many sheep back. That will be a bit of a concern for him. He needs that food income. We will be pulling those villagers off of food to build the Golden Gate, most likely, as the landmark. Oh no, it is... Oh, he must have lost a scout there. Looks like 3DB lost a scout. He's actually going to head towards gold. Yeah, that's a bit of a concern. He didn't necessarily want that to happen, but he didn't actually have enough hunt. Enough bounty to get to the next stage. He invested in that wheelbarrow. Now because of that, he's caught short. He's got 4 villagers on that gold lane. He needs that gold desperately to get to the next stage. He's going to be delayed somewhat, and that's not a great start for him. With 5 villagers now being used by kasva to get to the next stage, that's not very commonly done by the French. You often see 3 to 4, but kasva wants to go up early, wants to get that early French Royal Knight out as soon as he can, cause some harassment. There's the drop off of the gold. That's what he needed. Now we'll be getting the Golden Gate. This is wood that he had to invest 50 wood into that mining camp. Ideally, he could have got a wooden fortress with earlier. We shall see what he decides to go on to do from here, though. We'd look to get a second town centre and go for the boar. That could often be a play. Speaking of the boar, we do see a boar there in the middle of the map, near that relic, near the sacred site, near the stone, near that wood line. It could be a nice spot there. If he places a town centre or perhaps a hunting cabin there, brings the boar all the way there to that wood line, could be a nice bit of gold income for him. We do have a boar on the west side, a bit more further away, perhaps a bit more secretive. He's starting to get a bit more sheep now though, next to the gold and wood line, so this wouldn't be a bad spot for a town centre and the hunting of that boar as well. We see kasva now get to that feud ledge, queues up a knight immediately. We're having to rush down that Golden Gate with 6 villagers, getting the wooden fortress as well. We'll offer him a measure of protection, but that gold lane is very exposed. And look at this, kasva keeping an eye on what's happening here. He's got a good scouting vision. Villagers now do get pulled to that wood line. Nice group of 6 sheep coming in at a decent time. He needs that there. He needs that constant food income for now at least. And there comes out the French Royal Knight for kasva. The knight just heads towards the scouts there. On that gold vein, the villagers do get pulled. Relatively quiet. No arch transition yet, just for kasva. Going for a second town centre instead. Getting 8 villagers on that stone mine. He wants to get that second town centre quick time. We'll be struggling on the wood though. Get that stone nice and quickly and then transition to wood. Will we see the Golden Gate being used though? Looks like B is looking to get that second town centre. He's going to use the Golden Gate tickets, you suspect. He's getting plenty of villagers on wood. Yeah, he's getting plenty of villages on wood. He's going to buy the stone. It's quite a nice touch there for the Roos. It can kind of keep that second town center hidden. But of course, he's not having to mine that stone, so there's no way for your opponent to actually scout that out. The question is, where does he place his second town center? He might place it around the deer patch here. There's berries there as well. Where will he go off to? He's going to take 10 villagers. But Kasva will spot this. He sees this. He sees this happening. 2 spearmen on hand to defend as well. And as you can see, that wooden fortress now boosting the amount of wood coming into that lumber camp by 20%. So Knight starts to chase down that scout. He's heading towards the west boar location, I suspect. Looks like there's going to be a town center dropped here. Quite a nice spot there for B. Yeah, he's bringing the boar towards that wood line. Going to be aggroing it with the scout. And look at this for Kasva, looking just to cause a bit of mayhem. The boar does go down. A nice spot there. Good TC placement overall. I mean, near the stone and gold as well, so it's a very nice position. Uh-oh, wait. We see Kasva going for his own town center. He's going to challenge this. Holy smokes, this is crazy. This is not something you see out every day, and this might not go as you expect. We often see 3DB going for aggressive town centers, but it's going to be pulled down to the west side of that town center to try and get it up. Town center for B goes up first. That's a little bit awkward. Town center does get garrisoned with the villagers, and will the villagers be focus fired? It doesn't quite reach, I don't think. That's an interesting placement there for Kasva. Going to go to the gold with 11 villagers. Going to be building a lumber camp, getting these straggler trees. It's going to be a little bit inefficient. This is kind of the stealth forest is gathering from. This is going to be a much nicer town center placement. But Kasva being really aggressive. Now, I have to say, both of these players are very aggressive players. So it's really interesting to watch this. But it just do need to come off gold now. They're going to be put towards that food, I suspect. Maybe drop towards the berries. So it won't be that much food left there. Going to be going for double stable. We will see some Roos early nights as well. Looks like it's going to be heavy feudal age, guys. I don't expect either player to go to that castle age anytime soon. Be very greedy to do so. The spears continue the chase of those 2 knights and 2 scouts. Goes out to the hunting cabin. It's relatively exposed, but needs to keep those spearmen in close. As long as he does that, it will be okay. But this is a very nice town center placement because it denies that boar, which was the whole reason why 3DB came out to this position anyway. Gonna get some production buildings here in the stealth forest. A barracks going there. Not something that 3DB will see. Not easily anyway. 2 knights and scouts to go on the right side. B just keeping his spearmen on hand. Just in case, keeping them around the key resources. Always keeping a track of things, as you can see. Let's go to his perspective here at this point. Keep an eye on what he's up to. Ooh, what's he doing here? Keeping an eye on the stealth forest. Probably just moving those units into that area on the map. Focusing his economy right now. And the spear's going to protect the gold vein, you suspect. Fixing his economy. What he's up to here, though? He's probably checking on the boar. Probably concerned about whether the boar is being taken or not. What are villagers there for Kasva? What? I think it was... That was a bit awkward. I think it was keeping an eye on those the deer just to see if they're being taken or not. Yeah, he spots it. So, that was interesting how he saw that. The timing seemed a little bit convenient. I'm not causing any speculation here, I'm just saying. I think he was just looking to see if the I think he was looking to see if he can take the boar or not, and he just noticed the deer being picked. Anyway, you guys read into what you will with that. Holy moly. Anyway, it just looked a bit odd. He kind of looked at the deer pack. Maybe he was looking at the deer pack just trying to listen to see if the deer being taken, and it wasn't wrong. The timing of it was pretty impeccable. Let's have a quick look at the free camera now. What do we see Kasva going up to? Getting stone. Let's have a lot of production here on the west side. Getting rams. He wants to put some pressure on the second town centre. He's got triple barracks, double archery range. That is a lot. Oh, okay, now the Knights spot this. He's going towards the gold vein, going straight towards this west side. But Kaz are going to be denying some of the villagers on that deer patch as well. The spears head in. They take an engagement. They don't mind. It's going to be spears versus spears. Camera's a bit janky though when you have this kind of player view. The spears engaged. This is going to be a problem for kasva actually. If he loses this fight, which he might do, that'll become an issue. That push will be halted. A lot of villagers chasing after there. So the Rams is fixing his economy. Now the Knights heading towards that secondary base. Trying to protect. And there is a production buildings coming out for B. Okay, let's focus on this fight here because this is going to be quite key actually. Kasva manages to push this away, but a couple of Knights going through. Going to be taking some villagers off in that gold vein. That's not ideal. Village count looking healthy for B. 49 versus 46. So Kasva a little bit behind. Despite having French town centres, does lose 2 more villagers. The Knights get good value. They actually head back now. They've done their job. Triple archery range there for B. He wants to hold on for as long as he can. Kasva investing in a 3rd town centre. That is actually pretty greedy, all things considered. It's a very heavy feudal age push here for both players. They're both fighting heavily in feudal age. This could be the thing that takes Kasva out of the game. It'll be heavy in food investment, especially with the farming transition. Kasva's going to be out of commission in terms of producing units for quite some time. Go towards that deer now. Knights just causing some idle time there though. I think the villagers are being sent towards that north area for the food. Villagers are garrisoned from that. Those static defences. Knights heading towards that 3rd town centre. He spots it. And you suspect that 3DB spotting that 3rd town centre will go super aggressive now. We shall see if that's the narrative of this game or not. Yeah, but they just do go north. Kasva should spot this. Oh, he's just passing. He doesn't spot it in the end. He didn't notice it happening. Or does he? Well, a couple of Knights there. That should be a fight that Kasva should win. Although with the reinforcements coming in for B, that's a problem for Kasva. He needs to back off from that. Doesn't have vision on the stealth forest. You have to be very careful on this map high view. You see a ram coming out for Kasva. Look at trying to take that town centre. Not much there in the way of military for either player really. Most of it for both players hanging out in the stealth forest. See a couple of Knights coming on that forward position. A couple of outposts does offer some protection there for Kasva, but lots of idle time being caused here. A couple of Knights will be going down most likely. Looks like it's just the one. Looks like B must have iron undermesh. Oh, he's getting it now. It's not queued up yet. It's queued up, but no, he hasn't got it yet. A couple of archers there, a couple of Knights, and this is a strong push here for 3DB. We've talked about the strength of the Rus in the feudal age, and it looks like he's getting the military numbers up. Let's take a look. 30 military for B, 13 for Kasva. That 3rd town centre kind of chewing through his food here, Kasva. Not able to produce units. He's struggling on that front. Get kind of a concerning feeling for Kasva here because he doesn't have the military numbers he needs. He's really starting to build up that military lead. And he's been able to successfully take another deer patch. A lot of pocket economies here. Working well for B. Trouble for Kasva. A lot of his economy here on the front lines has been pressured for so long that the deer has not been able to be taken particularly safely. He could have gone for this back food resources. He didn't. Now it's been exposed. He's been caught out. If the archers for B can take down the spearmen, the Knights will reign supreme. Looks like it's the case. The spearmen head forward for 3DB to try and engage. The archers in behind, trying to get some value. Knights are going to be diving in as well. Going to be lots of idle economy. A lot of farming economy here. Going to be idle, and that's the concern. The archers in behind going to be taking those spearmen down. And once the spearmen go down, the Knights, the French Royal Knights, will be taken down by the Rus ones. And the Rus now are going to be running riot. Those Knights are completely uncounted. You get the feeling that 3DB is piling on the pressure. A lot of villagers going to be going down in this area. And there it is. Kasva taps out. 3DB takes game number 1 on this YouTube series. We are watching today, and in episode 1, 3DB reigns supreme over Kasva, the Rus beating the French. Hope you guys enjoy this casted game, and if you did, do give the video a thumbs up. If you're watching on Twitch, stick around. If you're watching on YouTube, take care, and see you next time.